The world's largest developing countries met last week in Johannesburg at the BRICS Summit. BRICS is short for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Leaders from 69 countries were invited to the summit. So why is the BRICS project so monumental? The 5 original BRICS countries alone make up over 41% of the world population, a quarter of the global economy, and almost 30% of global trade. At the end of this year's summit, BRICS announced 6 countries as new full members: Ethiopia, Iran, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Argentina. Dozens more have applied to join or stated interest. BRICS offers a promise of a more pluralistic world beyond the neo-colonial order led by the G7 countries: the US, Canada, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Japan, which only make up 10% of the world population but have an outsized influence on world affairs. Across the world, there's a hunger for a peaceful trade and development system based on mutual benefit. One focus of this year's summit was a BRICS New Development Bank, which was started in 2015 to help develop quality, sustainable infrastructure in member countries, along with assisting countries in times of financial turmoil. This could shape into an alternative to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, which tend to offer loans based on political conditions set by the G7 advanced economies. Historically, in exchange for IMF loans, developing countries have had to cut social programs, privatize industries, and deal with inflation. For people around the world who are fed up with losing their sovereignty, BRICS is hugely appealing. Another focus of the summit is the use of local currencies for country-to-country trade instead of total reliance on the US dollar. Since the end of World War II, around 90% of transactions in foreign exchange markets have been invoiced in US dollars. So the US Treasury has a huge international pull, and the US has weaponized the dollar by imposing harsh economic sanctions when the US doesn't agree with the policies or political system of a certain country. In the words of Kenyan President William Ruto, how is the US dollar part of the trade between Djibouti and Kenya? Why? President Lula of Brazil echoed, "Why does Brazil need the dollar to trade with China or Argentina? We can trade in our own currency." But if you tune into media coverage from a G7 country like the US, you'd be led to believe that BRICS is just China and Russia trying to make power plays. News reports are calling China aggressive and accusing them of trying to change the world order into a, quote, Sinocentric one. But countries aren't joining BRICS to subordinate themselves to China. There's real excitement for an alternative among all the countries involved, which altogether represent over half the world population. So instead of viewing BRICS as part of a Cold War-style confrontation, can the US and other Western countries recognize the legitimate desires of the rest of the world?